This is the Acer exactly a week after I planted into this pot. It's leafing out slowly. Okay, this is week number 3 after potting. Plant is doing very good. I was thinking of moving it to a brighter location, but lately it has been very windy and this is kind of bad, so I'm going to postpone that for a little bit later. I just want to take a moment to show you the natural behavior of most deciduous trees like Japanese maple. The most of the growing energy will be concentrated on the top, as you can see, and this is a good example to show. And you can see like on the lower branches it's not growing as well. This is natural. This is what the tree do. So when we in the future, when I take care of pruning the tree, I have to take this into consideration and probably do like a heavier pruning on the top and lighter pruning on the bottom, because they're weaker, so just to maintain the balance. I also want to do some follow-up pruning. If you've seen the part 1, you saw I did very light pruning, only removing some branches that are too long, but now the plant probably don't have enough energy and it only start leafing up to here, and the top here seems to be dying back, so in essence it's telling us to please prune here. So that's what we're going to do. And when pruning, you don't want to prune too high, you don't want to prune too low, you can damage the trees. So it's better a little bit higher, not too high, not too low. Right here, make sure it's a clean cut. Another example will be here too, you can see. I'm seeing there's some buds growing from here, so I'm gonna just cut from here. This is the maple that week number 4, and I have moved it out to the sun a little bit, so at least it will start receiving some sun, just to slowly acclimate it to the sun, and eventually I'll move it to the spot that it will stay for a long time. But this is just a temporary place where you get the partial sun. Alright, this is the same maple, roughly a month and a few days after I potted. It's doing very good. The leaves are all growing, so green, so beautiful, so delicate. No wonder why so many people like Japanese maple. One question that is frequently asked is, how often do I water this Japanese maple? I mean, there's really no fixed schedule. I mean, I know in earlier videos maybe I mentioned like once a week, but those are just guidelines. It cannot be followed as a rule. So yeah, for sure at least once a week, and then the plant should tell you if it needs water or not. What you do is to check the color of the soil. If it's light, that means maybe it needs some watering. If it's dark, that means it's moist. But you have to do one thing further. You have to dig in a little bit, probably an inch or 2 under the dry soil, and see if it's still wet, like in this case, then most likely it's okay. You probably can go another day without watering. The frequency of watering also will depend on the weather. If it's been very hot lately, then you might want to check more frequently and water more frequently. This is just common sense. But also the wind will affect. If you had special windy days, this will dry up the pot very fast, so you want to watch out for that. Finally, if it rains, should I water? The answer is yes, because the size of the pot, even though it is raining, the rainwater don't always get into the pot. It's either blown by the wind or the leaves will cover. The leaves of the trees works like an umbrella, so water actually doesn't get a lot of water into the pot. So even if it's raining, you might want to still check your pot, make sure it needs water. So even when it's raining, you still want to check, double check, make sure the plant is getting the water or not, and then water accordingly. Then another question is fertilizing. Well, you know, you see me fertilizing here with a slow release, general purpose fertilizer. You know, just make sure it's slow release and it's general purpose. It doesn't really need fertilizer actually. This is a new pot, has new soil, so ideally it should do fine without fertilizer for a while. But you know, just in case I want to fertilize, just sprinkle across, and always use below the recommendation, the quantity below recommended by the instructions. You know, it's always better to under fertilize than over fertilize. And how frequent? Well, you know, you can do it once in spring and then once in the fall, or if you prefer, you know, you just do you know, every couple weeks in spring and every couple weeks in fall, but every time you give it a smaller dose, you know. So again, the idea is to do light fertilizing with more frequent schedule, or if you just do a heavy fertilizing and just do it twice a year. It's really up to you. Okay, this is the final place for the Japanese maple. It's on the side of my garage. It has some shade in the afternoon, perfect place. So I think that's it for this episode. Well, the next time I'm gonna update the video is probably in the fall of this year, when it started to show some fall colors. So I'll share that with you.